Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 5 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers. The Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers are locking horns again, and this one's shaping up to be a battle you don't want to miss. After the Pacers walked into Cleveland and handed the Cavs a 108-93 loss, snapping their nearly untouchable home record, you know the Cavs are coming into Indiana with revenge on their minds. That last matchup was a wake-up call for Cleveland, and I fully expect them to show up ready to prove a point. The Cavaliers have been on a tear this season, rolling to a 33-5 record behind one of the most balanced squads in the league. Donovan Mitchell has been nothing short of electric, dropping 22.8 points a night, while Darius Garland has been the ultimate floor general, dishing out 6.7 assists and adding another 20.9 points to the mix. This team doesn't just rely on the backcourt, though. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen are a nightmare in the paint, controlling the boards and protecting the rim like seasoned vets. With their offensive efficiency sitting at the top of the league, Cleveland is a scoring machine, hitting 50% of their shots from the field and draining 40% of their looks from deep. What makes this rematch so juicy is the momentum Indiana has right now. The Pacers are riding a 6-game win streak and look like a team on a mission. Pascal Siakam has been a steady force for them, and Benedict Mathurin continues to show why he's a rising star. Tyrese Haliburton, the glue of the squad, might still be questionable, but even without him, Indiana found a way to topple Cleveland last time out. Their offense has been sizzling, putting up 115.6 points per game while shooting lights out at 49% from the field. When they're clicking, they're tough to slow down. The Pacers have also surprised on the defensive end during this recent run. For a team that's been criticized for their lack of stops, holding opponents under 100 points in 3 of their last 4 games is no small feat. They even managed to keep Cleveland's high-octane offense in check last time out, which isn't something many teams can say this season. Miles Turner has been a defensive anchor, swatting shots left and right, while Haliburton's quick hands have added a spark on the perimeter. Still, it's hard to ignore Cleveland's consistency this year. This is a team that's built to handle adversity, and these back-to-back scenarios tend to favor the team that lost the first round. The Cavs know how to make adjustments, and with their depth and firepower, they're fully capable of turning the tables in Indiana. Mitchell and Garland will have to take charge early, while Mobley and Allen need to dominate the paint like they usually do. Cleveland's defense has been solid all year, and they'll need to bring that energy to keep Indiana's shooters in check. For Indiana, it's all about keeping the rhythm they've found recently. Their offense thrives on ball movement and balance, and if Haliburton is back, it'll make them even more dangerous. But even without him, they've shown they can spread the floor and find contributions from up and down the roster. Playing at home gives them an extra edge, and you know the crowd will be loud, especially if the Pacers keep it close late. My gut says Cleveland isn't going to let this one slip away. They've been too good all season to drop 2 straight to the same team, but Indiana isn't going to go quietly. I'm rolling with the Cavs to win this one, but I'm leaning on the Pacers to cover that 8-point spread at home. This game is going to be a grinder, and it wouldn't surprise me if it comes down to the final few possessions. Buckle up, because this rematch is going to be a thriller.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and Philadelphia 76ers. The clash between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Oklahoma City Thunder has all the makings of a fascinating matchup, but let's be real, the Thunder are coming into this one with all the momentum. This season, they've been rolling through opponents like it's their day job, and a lot of that credit goes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's playing like he's got his eyes on the MVP trophy. The guy has been a bucket all year, dropping 31.4 points a night while doing it efficiently and leading his team on both ends of the court. Add Jalen Williams to the mix, who's been quietly doing his thing in the backcourt, and you've got a squad that's a nightmare to game plan against. Even with Chet Holmgren and Alex Caruso out, the Thunder haven't skipped a beat. They've built their success on smothering defense, leading the league in opponent shooting percentages, and making life miserable for anyone trying to get a clean look. You can't overlook their ability to dominate the boards either, with Isaiah Hartenstein stepping up big time as their anchor inside. His 12 rebounds per game might not grab headlines, but it's the kind of dirty work that wins games. On the flip side, Philly's season has been more like a soap opera, talented cast, but way too much drama. Joel Embiid being out for this one is a killer blow for the Sixers, and with Andre Drummond and Kyle Lowry also sidelined, they're basically limping into this matchup. Tyrese Maxey and Paul George are going to have to carry a massive load, and while Maxey has been a bright spot all year, you can only ask so much of the guy. Philly's offense has been stuck in the mud for most of the season, and when you're shooting in the bottom tier of the league, it's tough to go toe-to-toe with a squad as balanced as OKC. The Sixers' defense has shown flashes, but inconsistency has been their Achilles heel. Even at home, they struggled to string together stops, and against a team that knows how to exploit weaknesses, that's a recipe for disaster. The Thunder are a tough out no matter where they play, and their ability to lock teams down while still running an efficient offense makes them a step above what Philly's dealing with right now. That said, basketball's funny sometimes, and you can't completely count out Philly at home. Maxey is capable of putting up a big number, and if Paul George gets hot, they might be able to keep it interesting. Still, it's hard to see the Sixers having enough firepower to keep up for 4 quarters, especially without Embiid's inside presence to counter what OKC brings to the table. For me, this one feels like another statement game for the Thunder. They've been covering spreads like clockwork all year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they blew this one open early. That said, I'm putting my focus on Philly's scoring. Specifically, I'm banking on them hitting the 102-point mark. It's not flashy, but with Maxey running the show and George chipping in, they should be able to get there, even in a loss. OKC is clearly the better squad, but hey, in the NBA, even an underdog has to score a few buckets, right? Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Phoenix Suns and Atlanta Hawks. The Phoenix Suns and Atlanta Hawks square off in what feels like a pivotal showdown between two squads trying to steady their seasons. With matching 19-19 records, neither team has lived up to the hype surrounding their rosters, but tonight's game in Atlanta offers a shot at redemption for one of them. Let's talk about the Suns first. This team's been an emotional roller coaster. With Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal leading the charge, expectations were sky high, but a flat .500 record and a rough 13-24-1 mark against the spread have left fans and bettors scratching their heads. Lately, though, there's been a spark. They've snagged wins in 4 of their last 5 outings, including an impressive road W in Charlotte. Offensively, Phoenix shows flashes of brilliance, but hasn't quite hit full throttle. They're dropping 112.3 points a game, 14th in the league, shooting 47.2% from the field, 10th in the league, and knocking down threes at a sharp 37.6% clip. Durant has been doing Durant things, averaging 27.1 points a night, while Booker chips in 24.9 points and dishes out a team-best 6.9 assists. With 6 players averaging double digits, they've got the firepower to exploit Atlanta's shaky defense. On the flip side, Their defense is where the Suns can't seem to figure it out. They're giving up 113.7 points per game, ranking a mediocre 19th, and opponents are hitting 36.2% of their threes against them. The possible absence of Jusuf Nurkic, their top rebounder, could further expose their defensive weaknesses, leaving even more heavy lifting for KD and Mason Plumlee. The pieces are there, but the chemistry? Still a work in progress. Now to the Hawks. Atlanta's been in a rut, dropping 4 of their last 5 games and failing to cover the spread in 5 straight. But here's the silver lining. They're back home, where they've played solid ball with a 10-7 record. There's no place like home, right? Atlanta's offense has been humming, sitting at 6th in the league with 117.6 points per game. Trae Young is the maestro, averaging 22.5 points and dishing out a league-best 12.1 assists per contest. Add to that the contributions of guys like Jalen Johnson and DeAndre Hunter, and you've got a squad capable of torching Phoenix's inconsistent defense. The issue? Their own defense has been nothing short of a mess. They're coughing up 119.8 points a game, ranking a woeful 28th, and their three-point defense is the worst in the NBA at 38.4%. Yikes. The recent history between these two sides adds a layer of intrigue. Back on January 9th, the Suns took care of business, winning by 8 in Phoenix. But now the Hawks are rested and ready, with home court advantage on their side. That extra rest could be the X factor in a league where fresh legs often decide tight contests. Here's the thing. Both teams have been brutal against the spread, which makes this one a tough call. Still, I'm leaning toward Atlanta. Their home record gives me confidence, and if Trae Young and Bogdan Bogdanović suit up, that'll be a major boost. Phoenix has struggled on the road and hasn't shown the consistency to trust them to cover spreads. To me, this game boils down to tempo. If the Hawks can get out and run, they'll expose the Suns' defensive gaps. Meanwhile, the Suns will bank on their stars to deliver. Injuries could tilt the scales, so keep your eyes peeled for any late updates on player availability. When all is said and done, I'm backing the Hawks to cover the +5 spread. A win outright wouldn't surprise me either, given their home court advantage and the desperation to snap out of their funk. It's gut check time for Atlanta, and I think they'll deliver the kind of morale-boosting performance their fans have been waiting for. The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Sacramento Kings and Milwaukee Bucks. The Sacramento Kings and Milwaukee Bucks are set to face off at Fiserv Forum, and I've got a feeling this matchup is going to be electric. The Kings are rolling right now, riding high on a 7-game win streak. They've been playing some of their best hoops this season, and the energy is undeniable. De'Aaron Fox is back in the lineup, and he's been nothing short of spectacular, putting up 26.6 points a night. Throw in Domantas Sabonis dominating the boards with 14.2 rebounds per game, and this team is clicking in ways we didn't see earlier in the season. What's been especially impressive about Sacramento is how they've flipped the script on the road. They've been better away from home, going 10-7 on the road, compared to a shaky 10-12 at Golden One Center. This squad is playing with confidence, moving the ball beautifully and locking in defensively when it matters most. During the streak, they've held opponents to just over 111 points per game, which is a huge improvement for them. It's starting to feel like they've found their groove, even if it took a while to get there. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has been a bit of a mixed bag lately. Sure, they've got Giannis Antetokounmpo doing MVP things every night, 31.4 points and 11.9 boards per game, but this team has been inconsistent. One night, they look like the title contenders we all know, and the next, they're dropping games to teams like the Nets or Bulls. It's tough to get a read on them because they can dominate when they're locked in, but they've also had some ugly losses that make you scratch your head. The Bucks are coming off a rough blowout loss to the Knicks, which might actually work in their favor here. Teams like Milwaukee tend to respond after getting embarrassed, especially when you've got a guy like Giannis leading the charge. Damian Lillard's been solid as a playmaker, averaging 7.3 assists, and his ability to hit clutch shots adds a whole other layer to their offense. That said, Chris Middleton being out hurts their depth, and it puts more pressure on the rest of the roster to step up. For me, the game's going to hinge on a couple of key battles. Sabonis against Milwaukee's bigs is going to be fascinating. Sabonis has been a force in the paint, and if he can control the boards and create second-chance opportunities, the Kings have a real shot. On the flip side, Giannis is going to do what Giannis does, attack the rim, draw fouls, and make life miserable for the Kings' defense. Sacramento's ability to limit transition buckets and force Milwaukee into half-court sets is going to be critical. I'll be honest, I'm leaning toward the Bucks taking this one, but I don't feel great about it. Milwaukee's at home, and they've been solid there with an 11-7 record, but the Kings are playing with so much momentum right now. That 7-game streak isn't just luck. They've beaten quality teams like the Celtics and Bulls, and they're not going to back down. If I had to pick a bet, though, I'm looking at the total points. The over-under is set at 228, and with the way these two teams can light up the scoreboard, I think it's going over. Both offenses are built to score in bunches, and while the Kings' defense has improved, I don't see them completely shutting down Giannis and Dame. This one's got shootout written all over it, and I'd be surprised if the total didn't fly past 228. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks. The Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks are running it back tonight in what's shaping up to be a crucial Western Conference matchup. Just a couple of days ago, Denver handled their business, pulling out a 112-101 win after shaking off a slow start. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, but the Nuggets did what good teams do. They found a way to win. Denver looked a little out of sync in that first quarter, scoring just 17 points and letting Dallas build a solid lead. But then Nikola Jokic and company woke up. That second quarter was a thing of beauty, with the Nuggets dropping 41 points and flipping the script. Jokic was his usual MVP-level self, flirting with a triple-double while anchoring the offense. Russell Westbrook also had a vintage performance, stuffing the stat sheet with 21 points, 10 boards, and 7 dimes. When these two are clicking, Denver is tough to stop. Dallas, to their credit, came out swinging. Klay Thompson was dialed in, knocking down shots from all over and finishing with 25 points. Spencer Dinwiddie did his part too, putting up a double-double. But as has been the case lately, the Mavericks couldn't hold it together down the stretch. That fourth quarter was rough, just 12 points. Against a team like Denver, that kind of drop-off is a recipe for disaster. The Nuggets are on a roll right now, winning 4 of their last 5 games, and they've been locking teams up defensively during that stretch. They're giving up just over 107 points a game, which is a huge improvement for a squad that's struggled to get consistent stops all season. That's going to be the key again tonight, making sure Dallas doesn't get into a rhythm, especially if Kyrie Irving is back in the lineup. For the Mavericks, it's been a grind. Luka Doncic is still out, and while Kyrie has been upgraded to questionable, his back issues might keep him sidelined too. If he plays, Dallas has a shot to make this one interesting. But if he's a no-go, the pressure falls squarely on guys like Klay Thompson and Dinwiddie to carry the load. They've got the firepower to hang with Denver for stretches, but closing games without their stars has been a problem. Dallas has done well this season when they hit the magic number, 115 points. They're 16-6 when they hit that mark, so it's clear they need to push the pace and find ways to score. On the flip side, Denver's offense has been lethal all year. They're third in the league in scoring, and Jokic has been orchestrating the whole thing like a maestro. He's second in assists, second in rebounds, and third in points per game. The dude just does it all. This game could go either way depending on who's available. If Kyrie suits up, I think Dallas has a real chance to make some noise and even cover the spread. But if it's just Klay and a supporting cast, it's hard to see them keeping up with Denver for 48 minutes. The Nuggets are just too deep and too talented, especially with the way they've been playing lately. Keep an eye on those injury updates because they'll tell you everything you need to know about how this one might play out. For now, though, it feels like Denver's game to win. They've got the momentum, they've got the depth, and they've got Jokic, who's just on another level right now. If they stay locked in and don't dig themselves into another early hole, they should be walking out of Dallas with another win tonight. As I said, keep an eye on the Mavs players' injury report.